Our next author is Stephen Copeland, who authored An Authentic Journey, Where the Colors Blend, An Authentic Journey Through Spiritual Doubt and Despair, and a Beautiful Arrival at Hope. It shares an authentic journey through spiritual doubt, deconstruction, and depression, and a beautiful arrival at hope. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you. Why were you inspired to write this book?
Yeah, so about 7 years ago, an old mentor, he invited me to a softball tournament in Roanoke, Virginia. And there were about 40, 50 church softball teams there. And he said, there's some cool stories here, maybe you should write a book about it. Kind of weird. Well, I went, I interviewed a lot of people there. I interviewed some of the missionaries who the tournament benefits, and I was hooked. So over about 6 years, this became an annual retreat for me, where I would go to this tournament and I would wrestle with my own doubts, with my own just kind of things I was going through spiritually, heartbreak, rejection, just trying to find my way in the world through my 20s. And I found as a journalist telling these stories were meeting me where I was at. And so I wrote this book, kind of a combination of my own spiritual journey and the stories that I gathered about Paraguay.
Wonderful. And what makes your book relevant to culture today?
So the interesting thing about our culture today is that everyone gets along great. Mm-hmm. There's like no anger at all. Everyone just, no, that's not the case. So behind this title is Where the Colors Blend. This is very much, Richard Rohr writes about this, where it's about the emergence from dualism to non-dualism. Okay. So dualism, he would write, is about, it's mostly about just being right. And you see that a lot. That's why there's so much division today, in my opinion. So when you're just about being right, you're oftentimes projecting your own opinion out, trying to change other people. Non-dualism is about opening yourself up to the voice of the other. Mm-hmm. So stepping into non-dualism, where the colors blend, it's this beautiful messiness of saying, I'm open. You know, for me in my own spiritual journey, the key to my own salvation and awakening seemed to be in the person and the people who are most different than me.
It's really well said, really well said. In your book, what is the main shift that takes place in your spirituality?
Yeah, so the main spiritual shift, with my Christian background, somehow I think combined with a lot of doctrine and my personality, there was this idea that I was just a sinner. That the very core of who I am was just this horrible person who was basically hopeless, you know. And I think the main shift, and maybe the thing that's gotten lost in a lot of spirituality today, is awakening more to how deeply loved you are. Once I started to understand that at the core of who I am is belovedness, not brokenness, not sinner, that allows this kind of light to permeate through. One of my mentors, he says that this is how you grow spiritually. You go outside and you position yourself beneath the sun, and you just enjoy the rays. It's a lot like getting a tan. Yeah. So the main transition was from doing to being. It was from sinner to the beloved.
Very well said. And where can all the viewers at home contact you, connect with you?
Yeah, my website, copelandwrites.com, and I like to tweet, so Steve_Copeland on Twitter.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today.
Much.